Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back into another edition of Key Time Sports. It's Key Time coming back to talk about game fives of the NBA playoffs last night between the Milwaukee Bucks, Indiana Pacers, and the Pistons versus Knicks, Celtics versus Magic, and Nuggets versus Clippers. The first game I want to start off with is the Milwaukee Bucks and Indiana Pacers. Now, the Pacers, we all knew that they were going to win this game, and not only this was basically a gentleman's sweep. It was because when we saw what had transpired late in the season with the Milwaukee Bucks, I said that the Milwaukee Bucks were not going to be a team that is going to sustain much playoff success. And as we can see, you see Giannis Antetokounmpo, 30 points. Bobby Portis, 14 points. Gary Trent Jr., he played out of his mind last night in a losing effort with 31. Also, Kevin Porter Jr., he had 11. AJ Green had 19. Bench production for the Milwaukee Bucks was pretty much putrid. Torian Prince, 0 points. Kyle Kuzma, 5 points. Brooke Lopez, 2 points. Jericho Sims, 4 points. And then you have the Indiana Pacers. And let me tell you, the Indiana Pacers, they are a balanced bunch when it comes to scoring. Pascal Siakam, 10 points. Aaron Naismith, 19 points. Miles Turner, 21 points. Andrew Nabar, 15 points. Tyrese Halliburton, 26 points. Bench production for the Indiana Pacers. Obi Toppin, 5 points. Jarris Walker, 0 points. Thomas Bryant, 0 points. TJ McConnell, 18 points. Benedict Mathurin, 5 points. Ben Shepherd, 0 points. Now to the statistics for last night's game and for the entire series. We know that as far as both teams, they had shooting slumps. They did. But as far as statistics last night, they were in favor. They were in favor of the Pacers. Shooting percentage from the floor, 46%. Three-pointers, Pacers made 12, Bucks made 19. Free throws, 21 of 28 for the Pacers, 17 of 26 for the Milwaukee Bucks. Total rebounds, Bucks out-rebounded the Pacers by 8. Offensive rebounds, +4 Milwaukee. Defensive rebounds, +4 Milwaukee. Assists, +1 Milwaukee. Steals, +1 Indiana. Blocks, even at 4. Total turnovers, 18 turnovers for the Milwaukee Bucks and 13 turnovers for the Indiana Pacers. Fast break points was pretty much the same. 16 for the Milwaukee Bucks, 18 for the Indiana Pacers. Points in the paint, 38 for Milwaukee. Indiana, 50 points. Fouls, 23-19 in the foul department. Largest lead of the game was 20 points for the Milwaukee Bucks and 5 for the Pacers. Now, I want to get to how the game started out for the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, Milwaukee Bucks, they shouldn't have lost this game. They really shouldn't have, because in the first quarter, and like I said, the first quarter doesn't determine how the game is going to go. But the Milwaukee Bucks were up 17 at the end of the first quarter, and they were up by as much as 20 throughout the game. But the last for the last 50 seconds of the fourth quarter. That's basically where the Milwaukee Bucks lost this game. They are up by 7. Being up by 7 points with under 50 seconds in an NBA game, the winning percentage is 86%. 86%. So the Milwaukee Bucks, they had victory sold up. It was an 86% chance that they were going to win this game, leading by 7 with under a minute left in the fourth quarter. And then it seems like everything just collapsed. It was an avalanche of miscues when it comes to the Milwaukee Bucks. And when the game went into overtime, I said the Pacers have this, because you can see it. You can see the dejection from the Milwaukee Bucks players. And you had a guy come off the bench in Gary Trent Jr. He usually averages 10 to 12 points a game, but last night he scored 33 points. And then you have Giannis, who averages 25 to 30 points a game, but he doesn't have much help outside of Damian Lillard. And Damian Lillard, he is suffering an Achilles injury. Hopefully he can come back and be ready for the start of the season in October. Hopefully he can come back. So we pray for Damian Lillard to have a speedy recovery. But the Milwaukee Bucks as a team, I said this last night after the game, they have a lot of tough decisions to make this offseason, and the offseason for them starts today. What are they going to do with Giannis? Because Giannis, he needs some help. This has been 3 straight years that he has went to the playoffs and got knocked out of the playoffs in the first round. So Milwaukee Bucks management, general manager, the team owner, he needs to sit down and talk with his associates, and they need to give the owner some ideas on what they need to do next, because Giannis, he might not stay there all the time. He might not. And then you have Damian Lillard. He is suffering an Achilles injury, and he only has a year left on his current contract. So does Damian Lillard want an extension? We don't know. We have to see how he is on the court coming back from his injury, and we will see that when the Milwaukee Bucks start next season, which is in October. But as of right now, what the Milwaukee Bucks can do is start by building in the draft, because, like I always say, in order to be a championship team, you need to have a cornerstone player. And Giannis, he's been the cornerstone player for the Milwaukee Bucks for 11 years now. He got drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks in 2013. And the Milwaukee Bucks back then, they were the worst team in the NBA. But years and years of having Giannis, and he won a championship in 2021 with the Milwaukee Bucks. So obviously everybody is saying that this might be the last time that Giannis may ever suit up for the Milwaukee Bucks. Me, I have to see it in order to believe it, because the Milwaukee Bucks, they've given Giannis everything from a good team to only thing they haven't given him is the Harley Davidson car dealership in Milwaukee. And I believe even if they give him that now, I believe that is a bargain, because bench production since the championship win hasn't been much there for Giannis Antetokounmpo at all. So then you have Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers, he is a good coach, but in my eyes, over the past, I'm going to say 10 years, he has become an average coach. Now, I know that there are some people out there who are saying that what is Key Time talking about this morning? Like I just said, Doc Rivers has become an average coach over the past 10 years because he hasn't made it to he hasn't made it to the conference finals at all in the past 10 years. And not to mention, he's had a couple of 3-1 leads diminish because of his lack of schematics when it comes to coaching when he has been leading 3-1 in playoff series. So Milwaukee Bucks, Doc Rivers, ownership, general manager, everybody in the Milwaukee Bucks organization, you have some tough decision making to do. And as of that, the Indiana Pacers, they are going on to play the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, let me tell you, that is going to be an interesting series because both of these teams have so many advantages. It's an even playing field. You have number 4 playing versus number 1, but it seems like both of these teams could be the top 2 teams in the East. And that is no slight to the Boston Celtics, which I'm going to get into later on in the show. But as far as the Milwaukee Bucks are just a below average team now. And the Indiana Pacers are one of those teams that are on an uptick. So the final thing that I'm going to say for the Bucks and Pacers is the situation that happened after the game with Giannis and Tyrese Halliburton's dad. I get it. From a parent's perspective, Tyrese Halliburton dad, he see his son being successful, taking his team to new heights, taking his team to the next round, and also making Indiana a formidable playoff foe year in and year out. So Tyrese Halliburton dad, I know he is happy about that, but there is one thing. You have to keep a level of respectability when it comes to, defeating an opponent. Now, what he said to Giannis, Giannis said in the press conference that he was like, "Hey, this is what we do. This is how we do it, and y'all ain't blankety blank and fill in the blanks and all that." You can celebrate a win without being disrespectful. Now, I see where Giannis is coming at. You can celebrate a win and say, "Hey, you guys are the better team, but next year I'm going to try and come back after you jokers and try and defeat y'all to get another championship." But as far as cussing the guy out and stuff and all that after you won, that's totally uncalled for. So, and even Tyrese Halliburton said that he's going to talk to his dad after and tell him to keep his composure and keep everything respectable. So, hey, that's good. That's good to have Tyrese Halliburton publicly say that he is going to address his dad. Now, I know he is going to address his dad behind closed doors, but just to hear him say that he is going to talk to him means that he is going to address it behind closed doors. Now, the next game I am going to talk about is the Detroit Pistons and the New York Knicks. Now, the Detroit Pistons, I believe they could have won this series last night. That's only if they would have been playing the right way in games 1 and 3 because game one, JB Bickerstaff said that they let one go. They did, and they really did. They did let one go. Now you see where it comes to a point where now the Pistons, their backs are against the wall again. I mean, you're leading 3-2 with a possibility of getting sent home on your home floor. But last night, the Pistons, like I said, the Pistons, they are a young team. And you can see they had balanced scoring last night. Tobias Harris, 17 points. Azur Thompson, 22 points. Tim Hardaway Jr., 8 points. Jalen Duren, 9 points. Cade Cunningham, 24 points. Pistons bench production. Paul Reed, 0 points. Ronald Holland II, 2 points. Dennis Schroeder, 14 points. Malik Beasley, 10 points. Then you have the New York Knicks starting lineup. And let me tell you, the Knicks, I'm going to say this, the Knicks, only way they lose this series is if the Pistons go to their bench production. That's the only way that the Knicks will lose this series, because when you see Mikal Bridges, 17 points, OG Anunoby, 19 points, Karl Anthony Towns, 17 points, Jalen Brunson, 16 points, Josh Hart, 15 points, Knicks bench production, Mitchell Robinson, 13 points, Cameron Payne, 2 points, Miles McBride, 4 points, and everybody else did not play because of coach's decision. Now, the Knicks, they only have an 8-man rotation, and let me tell you, those 3 guys that they have in their 8-man rotation that comes off the bench, they don't get much playing time. That's how it is. Now, one thing I can say is that Tom Thibodeau, he has never had a successful bench to help with the team. He's never had it. No matter what stop Tom Thibodeau has been in, whether it's Chicago, Minnesota, or currently in New York, he has never had a great bench to help out his starters. He always believed in wearing out his starters. And like I say, about time the playoffs start, the starters already be worn out, and the bench players, they really don't know what to do, because you're messing with their scoring averages when they come off the bench. And there are some games where he doesn't even play the bench. So if the Knicks are going to lose this series, it will be because of bench production. So now now here are the stats for both the Pistons and the New York Knicks. Last night, some of the stats went in the New York Knicks' favor. As you can see, the Knicks made 9 3-pointers and the Pistons made 8 3-pointers. Total rebounds. The Knicks out-rebounded the Pistons last night by 4 in total rebounds, and by one in defensive rebounds for the New York Knicks, and 3 in offensive rebounds. Assists +2 for the Detroit Pistons. Steals +4 for Detroit. Blocks +1 for New York. Total turnovers +1 for New York, 15-14. Points off of turnovers, 19 points for Detroit, 12 points for the New York Knicks. Fast break points, 14-13, +1 for the Detroit Pistons. Points in the paint, +4 for the New York Knicks. 52-48. Fouls, 27-24 in favor of the New York Knicks. Technical fouls, 2-1, and largest lead was 10 for the Detroit Pistons and 5 for the New York Knicks. So Game 6 is going back. They're going back to Detroit. I believe that this series is automatically going to a game 7 because I don't see the Detroit Pistons losing game 6 on their home floor. I believe that there will be a game 7 in this series with a winner take all back in MSG Madison Square Garden in game 7. I do believe that, and anybody is going to have a hard time trying to convince me otherwise. So that's all I have for the Detroit Pistons and the New York Knicks. The next game I am going to cover is the Boston Celtics, and the Orlando Magic. Now, anybody that placed a bet on the Boston Celtics last night, either to win game 5 or before the series started to win the series, you won last night. And I last night because I placed a bet on the Celtics to win this series. So now the Celtics, they are waiting the winner of the New York Detroit series. So the Celtics, they have a few days to relax and rest up, and then wait and see who they are going to play out of the Pistons and the Knicks. So last night, the Magic, one thing I can say is they are a young up and coming team. Next season, they have got to make a move. They have got to make a move in the offseason. That way they can get further in the playoffs because you have their two dependable scorers are Pablo Banchero and Franz Wagner. And you can see last night, Pablo Banchero, 19 points, Franz Wagner, 25 points, Wendell Carter Jr., 12 points, Corey Joseph, 0 points, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, 8 points. Bench production for the Orlando Magic, Jonathan Isaac, 5 points. Tristan da Silva, 0 points. Goga Batiste, 0 points. Cole Anthony, 3 points. Gary Harris, 3 points. Caleb Houston, 0 points. Anthony Black, 8 points. Jet Howard, 6 points. Boston Celtics. Last night, Boston Celtics, I knew that the Boston Celtics was going to win this series, and I predicted the Boston Celtics would win this series in 5 games. Now, starting out, the Magic, they had a lead, but I knew by the time the fourth quarter came, that lead would start to shrink, and it did. Jason Tatum, 35 points. Al Horford, 9 points. Kristaps Porzingis, 9 points. Derek White, 5 points. Jaylen Brown, 23 points. Celtics bench production, Baylor Sherman, 3 points. Torrey Craig, 3 points. Sam Hauser, 10 points. Luke Cornett, 9 points. Namas Quetta, 4 points. Peyton Pritchard, 10 points. J.D. Davidson, 0 points. Jordan Walsh, 0 points. Xavier Tillman did not play because of coach's decision. Now, the statistics are in the Celtics' favor all series, including last night. Now, the Orlando Magic, they out-rebounded the Celtics last night by 6. Offensive rebounds, the Magic out-rebounded the Celtics by 12. Defensively, the Celtics out-rebounded the Magic by 6. Assists, plus 11 in assists. Steals, plus 2 for Orlando. Total turnovers, 11 to 12 in favor of the Magic. Points off of turnovers, 20 for the Magic and 11 for the Boston Celtics. Points in the paint, plus 12 for the Celtics, 48-36. Fouls, 20, 18 in favor of the Magic. The Magic, they fouled more than the Celtics did. Largest lead of the game for the Celtics was 34. And largest lead for the Magic was 9. So the Celtics this morning are sitting high and mighty, waiting on either New York or Detroit. The Orlando Magic, what they have to do is they have to give Pablo Banchero and Fred Wagner some help. They need another legitimate scorer, somebody that can find their own shot. And what I mean by find their own shot is Banchero and Wagner can sit down and you won't lose no scoring production. You'll have your third guy. Your third guy will come in and he will generate 20 to 25. Or you can have him in the second lineup. In the second lineup. So that's all I see for the Orlando Magic. Celtics, congratulations on making it to the second round to either play the Detroit Pistons or the New York Knicks. Either way, that series is going to be intriguing. It is going to be intriguing. So the next game I am going to cover is the Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, the Nuggets, I can say this, the Nuggets, they pretty dominated in all phases of the game. They pretty much did that. One thing about the Clippers, before I get into all of the statistics for both teams, the Clippers, I don't know what's going on with them. I really don't, because game 4 and game 5, the Clippers, they allowed the Nuggets to build a 22-point lead, and then the Clippers tried to fight their way back and win. Now, I said this, I don't want to jinx the Clippers, but after game 3, the Clippers were up 2-1 in this series. And I've always said when the Clippers have a lead in the series, they tend to lose the next 1 or 2 games. Now, it's 3-2 in favor of Denver. And Denver, they are coming in game 6. They are coming to win the series in game 6. They are. So as you can see right now, last night, the Clippers, they had a balanced attack when it comes to their starters. Kawhi Leonard, 20 points. Ivica Zubac, 27 points. James Harden, 11 points. Norman Powell, 12 points. Chris Dunn, 15 points. Bench production, Nicholas Batum, 0 points. Drew Eubanks, 0 points. Derek Jones Jr., 7 points. Ben Simmons, 0 points. Boban Bogdanovic, 15 points. Jordan Miller, 2 points. Kobe Brown, 3 points. Cam Christie, 0 points. Patty Mills, Amir Coffey did not play because of coach's decision. Now let me shift on over to the Denver Nuggets. Now, Denver Nuggets last night, they pretty much put their stamp on this game, and this was a pitiful game 5. And let me tell you, Jamal Murray had an efficient night. Aaron Gordon, 23 points. Michael Porter Jr., 14 points. And his plus minus was 13. All starters for the Denver Nuggets last night were in the plus. Aaron Gordon, plus 13. Nikola Jokic, he had a quiet night. He had 10 points, 10 rebounds, and 12 assists. He was plus 18. Jamal Murray, plus 17. Christian Braun, plus 18. Jamal Murray, Jamal Flamethrower Murray, as I like to call him, because he can get hot at any minute, and he got hot last night with 43 points, and he was 17 of 26 from the floor. So Let me tell you, the last couple of years, Jamal Murray has done this to the Lakers. He also did this in the bubble to the Clippers. Do I think that the Nuggets are going to win this series? I predicted the Nuggets to win this series in 7 games. But I think with the way that the Nuggets are playing right now, they are coming to win it in game 6. They are. So, bench production for the Denver Nuggets really didn't have much bench production, but Russell Westbrook, he came in and put up 21 points. Zeke Naji, 2 points. Hunter Tyson, 2 points. Peyton Watson, 2 points. Vako Kankar, 0 points. DeAndre Jordan, 0 points. Russell Westbrook, 21 points. Jalen Pickett, 0 points. Julian Swather, 0 points. Darko Saric did not play because of coach's decision. Now, when we look at the statistics for the last 2 games, everything has went in the Denver Nuggets' favor, including last night. Last night, the Clippers, they did not lead at any point in this game last night. Like I said, largest lead was 22 points for the Denver Nuggets. Now, shooting percentage from the floor, 55% for the Denver Nuggets, 52% for the LA Clippers. 3-point percentage, 51% for the Denver Nuggets, 37% for the LA Clippers. Free throws, 18 of 28 for the Clippers, 18 of 23 for the Denver Nuggets. Total rebounds, they were even at 38. Offensive rebounds, +2 for the LA Clippers. Defensive rebounds, +2 for the Denver Nuggets. Assists, even at 29. Steals, +1 for the Denver Nuggets. Blocks, +8, +1 for the Clippers. Total turnovers, even at 10. Points off of turnovers, +1 for the LA Clippers, 11 to 10. Fast break points, +2 for the LA Clippers, 21 to 19. Fouls, even at 21. Technical fouls, even at 1. Largest lead, like I said earlier, was 22 points for the Nuggets, and the Clippers did not lead at any point in this game. So, game 6 is up next. Now, if I'm the Clippers, if I'm Tyronn Lue, what I'm going to say to my team is, guys, we lost games 4 and 5 to this team. We have players on this team that have won championships with other teams. So we have a little bit of championship pedigree, but also the Denver Nuggets also have championship pedigree. So I would say, outside of the Clippers giving a Herculean effort when it comes to bench production, because like I've been saying, both of these teams in this series, their bench production awful. It's just who has the better starting 5. And I believe in this case, if Jamal Murray played like he played in game 6, like he did in game 5, the Clippers, they are going to be they will not be going back to Denver for a game 7. So the Clippers, they got to get their stuff together because it's not looking good. If they go on to lose this series, this will be the 9th series in the Clippers franchise history where they were leading after 3 games and going on to win and going on to lose the series. So the Clippers, things are not looking too good for them right now. And as for that, those are my reactions to all game 5s from last night between the Milwaukee Bucks, Indiana Pacers, Detroit Pistons, New York Knicks, Boston Celtics, Orlando Magic, and the LA Clippers and the Denver Nuggets. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Click the notification bell to get notified of all of my reaction videos, shows, and other content. We are also doing an expansion over here on YouTube and also on my other show, Key City Sports. Now, things are going to look very, very different in the coming months. So, anybody who wants to like, share, follow, and subscribe, please do so because you do not want to miss the content that I have in store because we still have playoff coverage going on. And then next month, well, technically not next month, but in June, we will have NBA finals coverage. And then after that, we will have OTAs and training camp coverage for the NFL season. And also I will be doing a little bit of WNBA coverage. So we have a lot to look forward to on this show. Key Time Sports, please like, share, and follow on YouTube. Key City Sports, my other show, on Instagram. Please like, share, and follow that. And remember, everybody, one last thing, the key is always on time.